Hi, my name is James. I'm a knee, foot and ankle specialist, and today we're going to talk you through the best running shoes for runner's knee, or otherwise known medically as Patellofemoral Joint Syndrome. We're going to talk through 4 shoes: the Hoka Arahi 6, the Adidas Adizero Boston 12, the Hoka Rincon 3 and the Asics GlideRide 3. All 4 shoes provide different characteristics that can reduce patellofemoral joint forces, so the amount of force that's put through the front of your knee, and each one has different durability, cushioning and support, so we'll talk you through each one so you can decide which one might be best for you. The links to each shoe is in the description below, and please remember this is not medical advice and it's for educational purposes only. So the first thing that we're going to talk about is heel to toe drop. So that's probably the most important factor when you're thinking about patellofemoral joint forces. So heel to toe drop refers to the difference between the back to the front of the shoe. So typically the back is slightly higher than the front, and that difference is known as your heel to toe drop. So we know from more recent evidence that if we bring our heel to toe drop below 5 to 6 millimeters, it typically reduces the amount of force that's placed on the front of your knee when you run. So ideally we try and aim for this when we're picking our shoes. It doesn't necessarily always have to be under 5 to 6 millimeters, but it's used as a general guidance. So for instance, if you've got a really high heel to toe drop, so like 12 or 10 millimeters in your current shoe, you might think about more of a subtle drop down to 7 millimeters in the Adidas Adizero Boston 12, whereas the other shoes such as the Arahi, the Rincon and GlideRide all have 5 millimeter drops. So if you're at a very high heel drop, think about dropping a little bit less down to the Adidas, whereas if you're already at like a 6 to 8 millimeter, you might find it beneficial to drop down towards a 4 or 5 millimeter. In terms of support, there's a different type of support in each of these. If you're looking for something that gives you a lot more stability but still lightweight, then you look at the Hoka Arahi 6. Rather than having a traditional post on the inside underneath the arch, they have their J-frame that reaches around the side all along the inner aspect of the foot, and that provides stability to the foot throughout the gait cycle rather than just trying to lift or wedge up the medial arch of your foot. So it's an excellent shoe and it's super lightweight, and we'll come back to that later on. If you're looking for something really firm and a little bit more responsive, you might look at the Adidas Adizero, whereas if you're looking for something that gives you a little bit of feedback but it's more for steadier runs, then you'd look at the Asics GlideRide 3, and if you're looking for something a bit more along the racing shoe line, then you would look at the Rincon 3. In terms of weight, the Arahi 6, the Adidas and the GlideRide 3 all sit around roughly the same weight, give or take about 266 grams, but the Rincon 3 is significantly lighter, and that's why it's more of a racing shoe. It comes in at 210 grams. In terms of durability, we tend to find that the Hoka Arahi 6 and the Adidas Boston 12 are typically a bit more durable than something like the racing shoe of the Rincon 3. The final thing to think about is the Forefoot Rocker. That can really reduce the amount of force that goes through the front of your knee. So you have the most significant forefoot rocker on the GlideRide 3, so that's if you look from the midfoot to the forefoot, there's quite a big tilt upwards, and that helps with the propulsion phase of the gait cycle. It's most pronounced on this one and a little bit less so on the Adidas Adizero, while the Rincon 3 and the Hoka tend to have a mild to moderate forefoot rocker. So if you're not used to one, you might find the Adidas GlideRide 3 a little bit more aggressive. So all in all, 4 great shoes for reducing the amount of force that goes through the front of your knee and reducing your runner's knee pain. Each of them come with slightly different characteristics that might influence what you decide is best for you. If you've got any questions, please leave them in the comment section below, and if you found the video helpful, please like and subscribe to the channel.